wonder if they're gonna talk about 30 shots now. You know.
Needed to take one more.
Needed one more, right?
Up that winning percentage.
Facts. Jesus.
Hey, Donovan. So they cut it to 11 in the fourth quarter, and then the arena is going crazy, and TJ McConnell's telling them to roar and stuff like that, and then you come out and accounted for the next 8. What did you sense in that moment?
Just a response. You know, understand that it's hard to blow a team out by 20 in their place. We saw that last game, even in our place. It's hard to be up 20. It's hard to keep a lead. It's just hard in this league. You know what I mean? Understanding who they are. They're not a team that's going to fold easily. And then, you know, when they went on a run, accepting it, understanding it, and like I always tell you, like, how do you respond? You know, understanding it's not the end of the world. We let one slip away at home in a similar fashion. So for me, couldn't let it happen again. And it wasn't just me. I mean, I know I scored, but, like, we got stops, made plays. Like, you know what I'm saying? So collective effort on that part. But for me, just trying to be aggressive and counter that run.
How would you characterize the impact that Max has had in this series so far?
I mean, shoot, he had 27 and 7. Like, he does it all. Did a phenomenal job on Tyrese and making it tough on him. Sprinting for rebounds, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, picking up full court. I told him at one point, I was like, man, I'm a little windy. He's like, nah, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just who he is, man. And I go to war with a guy like that. And, you know, you see it on a night-to-night basis. And people always say, like, you know, what is his biggest attribute? You know, what's his best attribute? He's a winner. He's a competitor. He's a guy you want on your team and a guy you want to go to war with.
And Kenny said before the game that he didn't label this a must-win game. He just said, we need to lean into our identity. Did you consider this a must-win game?
1,000%. I know he didn't. I know definitely not the message. But for me and my mental, I didn't necessarily say that to everybody. I kind of kept that to myself because understanding that, hey, good down 3-0 here is tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this was a must-win. We let one slip at home. Let the fans down at home, man. So we got to, you know, find a way to bounce back, and we did. But ultimately, all we did was win one game. We got to do it again on Sunday.
Jamal, where did you feel the biggest boost from having the 3 guys return to the lineup?
I mean, you saw Evan Mobley on the blocking shots, on the glass, obviously his scoring, but just his presence down there along with J.A.'s, it just helps everybody. And then DG being able just to at least, you know, obviously he's banged up and he's playing through stuff, man, and we love that fighting spirit. But just being able to, you know, kind of bring the ball up and initiate offense and kind of do different things, making it easier on everybody. And then Dre, you know, doing what he does, being in the right spots, knocking down timely shots, being in the paint, you know, guarding the ball, not letting it get to the paint, like the different things. So, like I said this morning, it's great to have those guys back, but we got to do it again.
And just kind of how much fresher did you feel personally in the fourth quarter compared to the first 2 games?
I mean, yeah, you know, but like I always say, it's great to have them back, but my job is to help the team win, and you know, if it was 1 on 5, you know, I mean, that's my job. It's not, but like, you know, I think for me, obviously having those guys back is huge. They bring us a huge boost, bring me a huge boost, and like I said, I go to war with these guys. I trust everybody in this locker room, and you know, you saw it tonight, but ultimately, we got to do it again.
The combination of getting the win tonight and having those 3 guys back, do you feel like you're back in the series?
I mean, yeah, it was 2-1, but we haven't done anything. I mean, we won 1 game. You know, we got to do it again. It's been my message. I told them we're not celebrating, we're not smiling. We came here to take 2 games, and we did 1. You know what I mean? Understanding that the next one's going to be the hardest game of the series. You know what I mean? And the next one after that's going to be the hardest game. So. Take that for what it is, and understand that, hey, we did a job, and we got to keep going.
Going back to the glass, like you were mentioning, Jay and Evan were really active, especially on the offensive glass. Just what kind of boost does that give the team when you're controlling the possession game like that? And obviously, it's something that has to really give a boost to the bench. Yeah,
I mean, when you get those extra possessions, it's huge. For that's been our motto pretty much all year. You know, trying to win it's different than what we did last year. You know, we're kind of getting back in transition, and against a team like that who likes to get out, you know, if you get those second possessions, it definitely is a game changer. And you know, J.A. was phenomenal. when Ed was out, and he was phenomenal again. And then obviously having, your all-star, your defensive player of the year, Evan Mobley back, like he was phenomenal as well. But the biggest message to them is like, all right, cool, we did it once. We're going to do it again.
And just question on the 3-2 zone. That's something you threw in tonight, and obviously you had a solid effect. And Sam Merrill even played a big part in that too. Can you just kind of speak to the effectiveness of that move?
First of all, with Sam Merrill, man, I love that dude, man. Like, obviously he was 1 of 5 tonight, but he's in that max court category, just a competitor. You know what I mean? I think one of y'all asked him about why he gets picked on defense, and he laughed. And, I think for him, he takes that challenge. He gets mad at me for trying to switch up matchups. You know what I mean? He takes that, and you want a guy like that in your locker room. I love Sam. We all love him, love what he brings. And then, obviously, he had, 20 the other night, 17, like just big nights. And he didn't really shoot it well tonight, but he did so many positive things throughout the game. So I want to give him his credit, for that as well. And then the 3-2 zone, Kenny brought it up and was like, hey, let's try to, make some things. Obviously, we had foul trouble, which was huge. So kind of bought us a few possessions. We rebounded out the zone, which I think is huge. We kind of scrambling around different things, but we rebounded well, which was great.
I know Darius is obviously hobbled and fighting through a lot of pain right now, but when he's on the floor with you, how much pressure does that alleviate from what you saw in the first couple of games in terms of what they're doing defensively against you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. I think it allows me to, catch and shoot threes. I think I got a few of those, running in transition, not having always to come back to the ball. And, I told him 20% of you, 30% of you is all we need, man. Like, he's fighting and gutting it out. A lot of respect for him. But I'm a guy that's like, cool, do it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, same thing. He said the same thing. Like this is great. I'm very happy that he's out there. He relieves, like you said, relieves a lot of pressure, but we need to win the recovery game and do it again on Sunday.
You mentioned that you came here to win 2. You've done half of that. Does it feel as if there's less pressure now because of that?
Nope. We got a job to do. I can't say because we got halfway and you can kind of relax. No, we got to keep our foot on the throttle and understand that they're going to be just even more aggressive, even more physical next game, and we got to be able to withstand that and counterpunch as well.
Hey Donovan, after you had that 8-2 run after they cut it to 11, and you had that assist to Max, it looked like you came over the bench and were kind of like this. What was your message to the guys in that moment?
Stay here. We did our job. We weathered their storm. Don't let them counter that. Like, you know what I mean? I think that was the biggest message. There was about, I don't know how much time was it, maybe like 5-6 minutes left. We countered that. Now, don't let them do the same thing. I've told you all year, the biggest thing is how do you respond to success? How do you respond to failure? We had some success on that little run. Don't let them come back. Don't let the crowd get back into it. And we did a phenomenal job to end the game as a group.
And then speaking of response, when you guys took a big punch like you did in Game 2 with the way that ended, what were the conversations like leading up to Game 3 that made you feel like you guys were going to respond the right way?
A lot of positives. I said that this morning, I think you can't let a minute and a half, minute 50 seconds deter you from the good of what we did. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of things we looked at and saw that we did really well. Obviously force and energy, and obviously you add those 3 guys back, it changes things, but there's a lot of things we did well, and we just got to continue to do that. And I think that was pretty much the message. And like I said after the game, it's like, all right, it happened. We blew the game. Cool. We got to figure out we got to figure out how to win the game.
Donovan, they had 4 technical fouls in the second half. The crowd was angry. Can you guys feed off that frustration, or do you feed off it?
I don't think we really feed into it. I understand that we got the free throws, and that's that. But, we just got to go out there and handle business. Whether they got the text or not, we got to go out there and keep our head on straight and kind of stay with the tunnel vision. Jeez. Stay with the tunnel vision, man. That's my biggest thing. I don't care if they got 18 technical fouls. Doesn't mean anything. Me and Sam got to make our free throws. I tried to give him one, and I gave him some shit for it. So I missed 2, you know what I'm saying? But we got to capitalize. It don't matter what else is going on around us. We have tunnel vision, stay locked in, and handle business.
And then Ty's had a couple rough games. What can you do as the leader, as a teammate, to get him out, or does he just have to play out of it?
Play out of it. I'm not worried about Ty Jerome, man. He's He's shown us all year who he is. Showed us in the first round, like, this is just not making shots right now. That's fine. Understand that, hey, it's coming. You know what I mean? He works hard. He's in the gym. It's not like, he's not putting in the work. I've seen this my whole life with him. So understanding that, hey, you don't need to overdo it with, patting him on the back to say, hey, you're good. This is what you do. It's coming. Because we all believe in him. And nothing to worry. He'll respond, and we'll be ready. Thank you.